Meeting of the Aitkin County Board to order, and the first order of business is selection of the chair. Are there any nominations for chair?
I would make the nomination for Commissioner Weedle.
Are there any other nominations for chair? Are there any other nominations for chair? Hearing no additional nominations for chair, everyone in favor of Commissioner Weedle as chair for 2026, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And thank you, fellow commissioners. It's been an honor to do this, and you're a great group to work with, along with the staff, administration. So thank you, and I'll try to do my best. With that being said, the next item of business would be selection of a board chair or vice chair. Nominations are now open for vice chair.
I'd nominate Travis LaVista.
We have a nomination for Commissioner Travis LaVista. Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to cast a unanimous ballot for Commissioner LaVista?
I'll make the motion for the white ballot.
We have a motion on the floor to set effect by Commissioner Sample, support.
Support.
Commissioner Westernan supports. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Commissioner LaVista, congratulations.
Thank
on
you. Look forward
Vice
to
Chair.
working closely with Commissioner Weedle this year as Vice Chair.
Very good. Now that we're organized, I'd invite everybody to please stand, and we'll begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You say amen now?
Yes. I'd like to extend a welcome to guest staff visitors present with us here this morning. Very special welcome to the Minke family. Welcome, Christine and girls. Dave's family is here, and very nice to have you here. Thank you. We will do the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes, additions?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I'd just like to remind everybody at 10 a.m. we do have a public hearing. Is there a motion for the agenda?
Make that motion.
Commissioner LaVista moves the agenda. Support.
Second.
Motion supported. Commissioner Sample, discussion.
Thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Agenda is hereby approved. On to consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent.
Motion on the floor, Commissioner Westerland approving the consent agenda. Support.
I'll support that.
Commissioner LaVista supports. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Consent agenda is hereby approved. On to talent medals. Jessica, welcome. Jessica, you can have the podium or a chair, whatever
Great.
you prefer.
I'll stand here if that's okay.
Welcome to Aitkin County.
Yes, thank you for having me. I brought quite a crowd with me today as well. So just want to thank you for having us here. I know it's been a little bit of time since I was here to give an update, so just wanted to start with a quick recap of some of the highlights for Talon Metals and the project this past year, and then introduce some new faces and some of our latest announcements for the project. So just as a quick refresher from the last time I was here, we have been continuing to progress both our ongoing exploration here in Minnesota and also in Michigan. One of the exciting moments of exploration this last year was the discovery of a new zone called the Vault Zone, which is deeper than the current resource in Tamarack and has significant high-grade mineralization. It is significant enough that a sample has been accepted into the Smithsonian, which will be delivering that later this month. So we are continuing with our exploration team to do ongoing drilling this winter here in Tamarack. And then for the environmental review process, just as a refresher, we're still in the scoping environmental assessment phase with the Minnesota DNR. We have just submitted our 4th round of comments in the back and forth scoping process. We did that just around the holidays, so that is now with the DNR. And we're expecting to wrap up this scoping phase this year and then be transitioning into the public comment period and then the EIS phase later this year. So more to come as we progress through that. But finally, just want to highlight the biggest news that we wrapped up the end of last year with, which is the acquisition of the Eagle Mine and Humboldt Mill, which I brought a lot of the team from Eagle, which I have to stop saying Eagle already. We are now combining as the entire Talon team. And so the folks that I brought with me will be part of the new Talon leadership team. So I wanted to just take this time really to do more introductions. So I'll invite them up to introduce themselves. And then we'll, I think, end with Darby, who will give some highlights to what this acquisition and the combined team will be doing moving forward.
Great.
Thanks. Jessica or Matt?
Not all run up at once. Hi, my name is Jessica Sandstrom, and I'm responsible for human resources and health and safety.
Nice. Nice to
Was it
meet you.
Jesse?
Jessica.
Jessica.
2 Jessicas, so hopefully easy to remember, maybe a little bit more difficult for us.
What's your
to-
last initial?
S.
Okay,
Yeah.
that differentiates you
Jessica
then.
S.
J1 and
JS.
J2.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thanks for having us today. My name is Matt Johnson. I'm the External Affairs Manager for Eagle Mine. I've been with the project since the very beginning, kind of where Jessica sits, the other Jessica, sits today with the status of the Tamarack project. So I've been there for 17 years and had the opportunity to go from the exploration phase to the permitting phase to construction, and now 10, 11 years of actual operations. We employ 450 people over at our operations at the underground mine and the mill. And we look forward to now being Talon, and have to get used to saying that. So this is pretty new for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Good morning, thanks for having us. Rob Baronic. I will be responsible for delivering the environmental review, the permits, and the engineering of the project here in Tamarack prior to starting construction. So looking forward to working with you guys and being in your neighborhood more. I've got 17 years in the mining industry. I did 14 with Cleveland Cliffs up on the Iron Range here in Minnesota. Also have experience in coal mining and also steel making. So very excited to be here with Underground and exploring the copper nickel assets of the area. I think this is a very exciting time for Tamarack and Talon, and I'm very enthusiastic about all the opportunities we have here. So thank you.
Hey, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Rob.
If I may,
Yes, Commissioner.
what kind of roadblocks do you see as you go through this permit? I mean, you know, I know that's a loaded question, but with the climate and I look at like your, the Water Alliance, and I look at their stuff, and half of it is bogus, that it has no grounds to stand on. If you wanna have an argument, let's have an argument. But I'm just curious, are you getting support from the state? Or what do you foresee your biggest hurdle coming up?
Yeah, like myself, there's a lot of really passionate people about the environment, and I am one too. And I think that passion can play out in many ways. You can be passionate about the environment and support our project, and you can be passionate about the environment and care about specific impacts our project's gonna have. We need to do our due diligence on how do we protect all of the natural resources around the Tamarack deposit. And I think that includes, air, water, all of the aspects of the environment. I think there's gonna be a lot of interest in how our project over the entire life of it will impact water specifically.
And I'll challenge you to meet like Mintac. I was a team leader up on the dike, where we did the cells to purify the water and reuse the water. And I fished all the lakes around there, and I don't see a problem with it. But to keep, because Mintac wasn't always like that. But take care of our environment.
Yeah, I appreciate your perspective. I share it too. And I think we have to engage in the conversation with everybody in the area and hear everybody's perspective and make sure we've done what we can to bring a project forward that will meet everybody's expectations, including our own.
Perfect.
Rob, welcome to the Talon family.
Thank you.
My name is Darby Stacy. Really excited to be here. So I'm with this acquisition of Eagle Mine. I've been appointed the CEO for Talon Metals. I'm currently the managing director at Eagle Mine. That's a role I've been in for the past 6 years. And prior to that, mining. So I've been on quite a few different projects around the country. And one big one in my history was actually designing, building, and ramping up Eagle Mine back in 2012, 13, 14, in that time period. So I've got a little over 20 years in the industry, a little over half of that actually at Eagle Mine. So I've got these couple of slides we'll go through, so please, ask questions as they come up. So we got pretty
Sir,
busy.
was it Jarvie?
Darby, D-A-R-B-Y. Yeah.
Okay.
So huge news here at the end of the year, and I can say we're just as excited in Michigan as folks are here in Minnesota. We came over yesterday, this group here, to meet the team, and we've just been waiting the whole Christmas break to do this and actually get face to face. I will caution that the acquisition is not finalized, so there's some Toronto Stock Exchange and some things that everything's greenlit and going, but it's not as of this meeting today done. But it will be here shortly.
Just
Oh,
a
you're rolling
note.
down. Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah,
You
we
have
just
a fill in here. I'm a rookie at this, so I'm going to help you.
okay.
You just tell me
Yeah. So what happened here? So it was pretty huge transformation actually for both companies that happened with this announcement. In the case of Eagle Mine, we're a producing nickel mine. We're the only nickel mine in the United States. We make significant copper byproducts. We're the nation's leading cobalt producer. Kind of everything that Tamarack aims to be. That's what we're doing today. We've been in operation for 11 years. But mining is, we're in the business of depletion. We mine our assets, and we always try to explore and discover more to keep those operations going. But Eagle is facing closure in its future, which we've always kind of forecasted and had out there. So we're trying to get every little bit that we can out of Eagle over these next couple of years. But then that's the end. 450 jobs, coming to an end, closing it, doing everything that we promised with the environment, putting the asset to bed and moving on with our lives. So that's kind of the plan. And then, Tamarack and Talon Metals, nothing but future, right? Nothing but growth and very, very exciting future, but not producing today, right? And so basically we've taken these two assets, these two teams together, and, the worst things about Eagle, not having any growth in any future, we fix that. And, you can't underestimate the expertise and the challenge of running, a 24-hour-a-day underground mine and doing it the right way. It's a lot. So we've got this operational experience from the Eagle team coming now together. So overnight, we've transitioned Talon Metals into a producing asset with cash flow. So rather than just spending money on a project, we're actually generating cash right now out of Eagle. We've brought a tremendous amount of experience into the team. And we have growth. And I'll kind of I'll keep alluding back to this during these just a couple of 4 or 5 slides that we have. Our aim is to have multiple mines and multiple processing facilities. We no longer aim to close down Eagle Mine and have those 450 jobs end. So we want to find more ore in Michigan and keep that going. We want to full speed ahead with the project and all the good work that's happened here at Tamarack, and become a real meaningful producer of nickel for the United States. Our ultimate vision is, again, multiple mines, multiple processing facilities. We want to roll down.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You guys have a processing plant out there in Michigan.
Yeah.
But you're also building one in North Dakota. Is everything you're mining here going to North Dakota, or will it go to your plant?
The plan right now is that it would go to North Dakota.
Okay,
And there's a bunch of permeations that can happen and, things that we're evaluating now. But again, our vision is multiple mines and multiple processing plants, ultimately 50,000 tons a year of nickel. So for scale, the best year ever at Eagle Mine was 27,000 tons. So we need 2 of those. So that mill in Michigan is going to handle the ore body that we find with the exploration program that we're doing over there. If that pans out and we never find anything, then we got to put other options back on the table.
Right.
So then the other component of that, the other 25,000 tons would come, from this ore body here at Tamarack. Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Yeah. I won't get into all of the details of this. The transaction, the way this worked is we basically looked at the value of Talon Metals, which the market votes on that every day, and the market capitalization of the company. So, that on one hand. On the other hand, what is Eagle worth? We've got infrastructure and assets. We have an ore body that produces cash flow. So you kind of, tabulate all that up. And so what would that be combined? And that's where some of the ownership structure broke down. If you roll down on the next slide, that pie graph, I think, shows it well. That dark blue Talon shareholders, that's Talon prior to close. And then that white box of Lundin Mining, that comes in after the transaction's done. So that's essentially the value of Eagle Mine in that 19.99. We're wholly owned by Lundin Mining. Lundin Mining is a mid-tier mining company with Eagle Mine and 3 operating mines in South America. Lundin Mining is a very well-respected company in the industry and based in Vancouver. And so Lundin Mining will continue to own approximately 20% of Talon Metals. And that little wedge I want to show there, Lundin Family Trust. The Lundin family has been in mining for 3 generations now. They've made some money over the years, so they have a trust, a very wealthy trust, but they invest that trust in multiple different places around different mining projects. And there's enough confidence in this transaction that the Lundin Family Trust has invested their own personal money into this venture going forward. So this is not just Eagle Mine being sold because it's at the end of its life. This is the Lundin family. This is Lundin Mining saying, with where Eagle Mine is in its life, with the momentum of critical minerals in the United States, and with this project that's happening in Minnesota, Eagle Mine's going to do better with Talon Metals than it will with Lundin. And we want to maintain a piece of that because we think it's going to. So that's kind of what I want you to take away from that. Any questions on this?
Commissioners?
Okay, if you want to roll down, just some pictures here at Eagle Mine. So Eagle Mine, we've got a mine site and a mill site. They're separated by about 60 miles. So we transport the ore with truck. It's an underground mining operation, very conventional, 24-hour operation. The only time we shut down trucking over the road is for winter storms, which is like every 5 days right now. And then you can see the Humboldt Mill. Humboldt Mill's just a fantastic story that I love to tell. It was built in 1953 by the iron ore, Cliffs Iron Ore built that. Ran iron for 20 years, shut down, became a gold processing facility in the 80s, shut down, dilapidated. We acquired this in 2007, cleaned it up, renovated it into a copper nickel processing facility. And it's so it's an old site. It's a brownfield site, but as modern as you get in terms of the processing. just to the left of the picture there would be our tailings facility. So we actually put our tailings in an old iron ore open pit that's now a pit lake, which is about the best way you can handle tailings. The sulfide tailings and the potential acid generation take the oxygen out of the equation, and you get a long-term safe storage of that. So that's why we're at Humboldt, why we're trucking the ore. It's because of the tailings.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney has joined the meeting remotely.
Okay.
You won't see him as long as the PowerPoint is up.
Okay.
Welcome, Michael. Can you hear us? Okay.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we're the only primary nickel mine in the U.S. We do 2,000 tons per day. That's a scale very similar to what we're evaluating for Tamarack. High grade, so again, very similar to Tamarack. What's happening with the nickel projects north here in Minnesota, they're just very different geology, mining methods. So Eagle and Tamarack are much closer match. We began our operations in 2014. We had a 7-year mine life, but we discovered a new ore body close to Eagle that's extended us now. We make 2 products, copper concentrate and a nickel concentrate, that we sell to smelters in Canada. And it's a high-performing workforce. This is something that we got to make sure that we don't ever lose when we talk about this. The workforce, when we started operations, nobody had been underground mining in the upper Midwest for a generation. And so we had to bring in some external expertise, but out of the gate, we had processes and policies to hire locally and train locally, and to make sure that we had that local workforce built up. So now today, Matt, help me, are we 86%? Local being, you're from the UP. When you got that job, you're from the UP. I moved to the UP for the job, so no matter how long I'm here, I'm never a local hire. So that's sort of the standard. We wanted to be 75. We've always been able to achieve that. But it took a lot of training, and now we've got a workforce of 450 that can underground mine, can float copper nickel, like legitimate global expertise right here in the upper Midwest, and that's something that we're gonna bring to the Tamarack project. We are a cash flow positive operation. So the aim here with this, we will use the cash flow that we generate out of Eagle to further project development at Tamarack, to further exploration at Tamarack and in Michigan.
So, Darby, at this point, Talon is cash flowing?
Once this is closed, yes.
Okay.
Yep. We do have opportunities to extend the operation. We have what we call marginal resource material. It's all been drilled out. We don't need to get lucky with the drill bit. We know it's there, so it's a matter of what the price of the metal is and what the cost of mining that is, and a bunch of different innovative ways we're trying to extend that mine life out. Extend it out to a critical period. We call it the bridge that gets us to the next ore body. Right, we don't want anything to happen to those 450 people where we have to do some kind of a temporary shutdown. Everybody moves away, and it's basically a train wreck. So we're trying right now everything we can to bridge to that next ore body. And we're living proof that modern mining's possible. So like we say, come and see it. When we start, before operation started, it was a lot of trust us. It's going to be awesome. Like, we've got a great plan, but where's the proof? And we have that now. We do make mistakes, things happen. It's how you respond to those mistakes, how the design is robust enough to catch those mistakes and fix them. And I think that something a little bit unique about our 2 companies, you don't always find this with every mining company in the world, but our culture that we have with Talon Metals, that we have with Eagle Mine, we have a culture of transparency. As Rob kind of pointed out, we have a culture of doing it the right way, hand on heart. This is how we're going to operate. You don't find that with every company. So I think that you're going to find with this acquisition, in this transition, it's going to be culture-wise a lot of the same. The way we're going to talk, the way we're going to communicate, the way we're going to design and handle things in the environment. It's completely aligned. And we've been working closely with Talon kind of behind the scenes and for years now, because our projects are so similar and we have such similar values. So now we can just do it formally in the open. Roll to the last slide here, just again, our vision here. So our geography is spreading out a bit, but going back, our vision is for two mines, 2 processing facilities. So we've got our exploration in Michigan, and we will be mobilizing back into there as soon as the frost comes out of the ground here in the spring. We're advancing the Tamarack project, full speed ahead, doing everything we can to make sure we don't step on anything and don't slow down the progress that's been made. We will be working right now to extend that life at Eagle Mine, again, to try to bridge that out, to keep those cash flows going, to make sure that we can get that next one in line. But I won't go through each one of these. I just want to, close the takeaway for this group. We're bringing these 2 companies together. The greatest strengths from these 2 companies, future experience together, and the sum of those is greater than the parts. The cultures of our 2 companies is quite similar, and I expect that we'll be able to hit the ground running here in the first quarter and move things forward. So I'll open the floor to questions or anything you guys want to learn about the projects.
Commissioners?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I want to tell you, you got a gold mine in your employees at Tamarack. And Jess, I appreciate all the times I just pop in your office and we go over to the core sample. And I mean, that's transparency. And no matter what questions I have, if they don't have the answer, they find the answer. That's hard to find.
Yep.
And that builds trust. And so you got a gold mine, not only in what you got in the earth, but what you got in your employees. That's my comment, Mr. Chair.
Very well said, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Westerland?
So I know we had a couple, I think, Economic Development and Commissioner Napstead went to Eagle Mine here maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Oh,
It's been a while.
3.
We just thought, I mean, we couldn't talk about it enough. I mean, it was just, they had such a great things to say about the plant and all the stuff that was going on and how just clean and how knowledgeable and how much they learned. So, I mean, I wish I could have gone, but maybe sometime we'll plan a trip over there, but it was just.
Yeah, and I think that's a great opportunity. We
Yeah.
plan to really leverage this year and next. Again, it helps to conceptualize to people that haven't seen mining, that are having to make these difficult decisions with the permits and with the regulations, to come and see it firsthand, to where it just makes a little more sense. And we're very proud of what we're doing. So we do plan to leverage the, come and see it and have a look for yourself.
And I know that your staff at Talon is just, I mean, my husband just wants to go there every week and see what's going on. I brought my husband there and we were the only 2 that showed up, but, well, I think it was kind of planned, but it was just incredible what is going on over there and how everybody knows everybody knows what's going on with each other even, and that's so important. And the connections you all have now. Oh, there's so many people in Aitkin County that are so connected to this, good and bad. I mean,
Yep.
you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that a lot. But I so appreciate the whole acquisition thing. I hope it all works out perfect and well, nothing's ever perfect, but I just hope our state wakes up a little bit and starts realizing what they have, because I still don't think I know the federal government does, but, so anyway, just thank you very much, and thank talent staff and the new staff, well, the combined staff, I guess.
Thank you.
Yep.
thanks, Commissioner Westerland. Commissioner LaVisca?
Yeah, I'd just like to echo what Commissioner Westerland Sample said about the current team at Talon Metals. They've been amazing. Talon's already invested so much into Aitkin County. from their operation, and it's appreciated. And I'm really excited about the combination now of the experience that the Eagle Mine team will bring to this process.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna ask, Commissioner Westerland if we're gonna make a road trip.
Yeah, I mean, it was
I'll drive.
it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, and I should have told Jessica, when you see him coming, you're supposed to lock the door. You see Brett, I'm kidding.
They do.
I can't get any work done when you're there, Brett.
But, and the relationships you guys have built with the
Yeah.
Tamarack City,
Oh,
I
yeah.
greatly appreciate that. Cause you guys have been an open book with them.
Yeah.
And you guys have showed up to their meetings, and you've showed up to some of the county, different boards we have, to their meetings. You guys have always been open and honest. And I challenge you, if you're the head guy, take care of them people.
Okay.
When, for the Talon and Tamarack, when do you expect or anticipate to start actually mining and shipping?
Yeah, Rob, do you,
Hear my mom calling.
Good answer.
I expect you'll see a lot of construction in 28, hopefully.
Oh, wow.
27. That's
great.
First or mid-29. Is our goal.
Very good. And a couple other commissioners alluded to this previously. Is there anything that we as Aitkin County Board of Commissioners, by ourselves or in a collaborative fashion, can do to help you overcome government obstacles?
yeah, I mean, I guess I would leave that to Jessica and Matt if there's, I mean, as an ongoing thing.
That is an open offer.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
taken and so, and I think that, what I would ask this, this group is to continue to keep us honest. Keep us, if we're not being transparent, you gotta tell us, right? Cause that's what we aim to do. We're gonna get down in the weeds and we're gonna get very, very busy over these next couple of years, and we can't lose sight of, where things are happening right here locally. That's the most important piece. So I guess that's what I would ask this group. But there will be, I'm sure, more things with Minnesota, and I don't even know where to start on that. And so let's keep an open dialogue.
And you're copper nickel primarily.
Yes.
I'm just curious, this is kind of an offset outreach question, but we have next door the Cuyuna Iron Mining Range. Have you ever gotten in, or would you ever anticipate getting into iron ore?
I'm kind of a never say never guy, but we're really focused on
On what
nickel,
you're doing
copper.
now.
Yeah. And that vision, and that's why we've kind of put that vision out there, 50,000 tons of nickel. And I can't gush enough about this exploration portfolio that we have. It's the best portfolio of targets and prospects in the world that we have, and we actually don't have enough resources, people, money to do what we want to do already with what we have. I think that would be lower on the priority list. But I think that, as you work with me more, you'll learn I'm kind of a, never take anything off the table that you don't need to. But we're like overwhelmed with good opportunities right now that we already have.
I had the opportunity, I grew up just northwest of town, not too far from when the Cuyuna Iron Range is going fast and furious, employing a lot of people. The economy in Crosby, Ironton, Aitkin was booming. So mining does so much
Yep.
to the local economies.
Yeah, it's, mines take a lot of money to operate, right? And so all that, just the economic impact. In Marquette County, actually, we have two mines, Eagle Mine and the Tilden Iron Ore Mine Cliffs. Those two operations drive 20 to 25% of the economic GDP in the county. If you were to go ask anybody in Marquette, like what drives the economy here, they'd say, the hospital, the university, the government, and those are all single digit, right? It's these two mining operations. So it's obviously the good paying jobs, but, keep those plants running, keep that ground open. Those are tremendously expensive things, and all that local procurement that you're doing to keep things moving. It's a tremendous amount of cash that goes out the door to keep them going. Tamarack would be no different than that.
You know, I got a question for you. Up on the Iron Range, they say for every one mining job, it creates 5 to 7 good paying jobs. With your operation over at the Eagle, is that pretty much the same?
Yeah, what was our multiplier in that study?
It depends on where you're mining in the local economics and population of the area. So our particular multiplier was about 2.5%, or 2.5 per one job.
Okay. So if they hire 500, we've got almost, my whole district's employed. I love you guys.
Any final questions, commissioners? Darby, thank you so much, and crew, for the merger, acquisition, whatever you want to term it. Glad to have you in Aitkin County. We're here to help you.
Great. We'll be seeing you a lot.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Darby. With that being said, we're on to Land Commissioner. Dennis Thompson, DJ, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Morning, DJ.
Oh, we got the presentation first. Perfect. All right. Well, it was kind of the end of the year, so I thought kind of time to come to the board with a few summaries of what has been going on, what has been happening. I was just going to ask you if there was a clicker over there, but so I thought I'd give just a brief kind of summary on what we've been doing with our land sales.
DJ, did you want to just chronologically approve the purchase of a motor grader?
Yeah. Perfect.
Let's get that out of the way.
I didn't know which one was on there first, but yeah, so we had roughly 300 miles of forest road. And that's including the ATV or the Northwoods ATV, the Sioux line. So with those roads, we have had a road grader for quite some time. It's a 1997 Champion 710A, and it has been dogging us for a lot of years. It has been in the shop longer than it's been out running. At one point in time, we put a remanufactured transmission in it. So about probably 3-4 years ago, 4 years for sure, we had set aside some money, or that we had started to put in our CIP budget, that we would be purchasing a new motor grader. So 2026 is the year that we are looking at that new motor grader. So right now, seeking approval for that purchase. It's $90,000. They will deliver it to our land department. We're looking for either a John Deere or a Caterpillar, just so that we were able to find parts for it fairly easily. The old Champion, very difficult to get parts. So if there's any questions on it, I can certainly answer those. Otherwise, like I said, looking for a motion to approve purchase of the new used motor grader.
Commissioners, questions or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Westerland.
Support.
That motion is supported by Commissioner Sample. Any discussion?
I have one question. What are you gonna do with the old one?
The old one has been sold already.
Oh,
So, yes.
gosh, I hope it wasn't anybody I know,
So,
my husband.
What'd you get for it?
so 12,500.
Wow.
We got for the old one, and then,
He's terrible.
so, and I can't remember offhand where it went, but
Did a Westerland
Okay.
buy it? Just
No.
asking for Lori.
No, I think it's a conflict of
I don't think it was anyone we knew, and we didn't want it to be anybody that we knew, so.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
I got one other question. Are we gonna use this grader to grade some of the, like the Sioux line?
Correct.
and
Yep.
the-
That
rather
is
than
our,
contracting it out?
yeah, yep, and that's been our, in the past, we have done some contracting with road grading when our grader has been down. It is very expensive, on a per mile basis, so, with this, we are gonna get into a rotation where at least twice a month, the entire Sioux line, all 72 miles, north and the south get graded. as well as our forest road. So like I said, when you add those 72 miles of sewer line with our forest roads, it's close to 300 miles that we actually could be grading, that we probably should be grading, so.
Good deal.
Any further discussion? If not, we'll call the question on a roll call.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Carney has let me know that he is not actually participating. He's got too much other
Okay.
things he's doing, so we do not need to do roll call. votes.
Simplifies things. Very good. We'll call the question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion unanimously carried. Thank you.
Yes,
Now
thank
the
you.
updates.
All right, so now we will do the land sales. So yeah, just kind of a brief summary on the land sales in one particular type of land sales. We all remember the Tyler versus Hennepin. How could we forget? It's been so much fun. So we ended up with a new tax forfeiture law. Part of that law had a requirement with certain properties depending on when they actually went forfeit. So we had what was called a look-back period. So part of the Tyler versus Hennepin, if you'll remember, there was a settlement in there. So if you had property that went tax forfeit between June 23rd, 2016 and December 31st of 2023, you had the opportunity to get into a class action lawsuit. Because Minnesota's tax forfeiture law was deemed unconstitutional. So they settled that class action lawsuit, and the state legislature allocated $109 million to that settlement. So to help fund that, what they did is they had required then that every county for properties that forfeited back in this look-back period would be required to make what they called a good faith effort to put those properties up for sale. And those were properties that were classified as non-conservation. If they were parcels that you had classified as conservation, you could retain those. You weren't required to make a good faith effort to sell them. So we ended up with 46 parcels total, which some of those, once we added what was adjacent to each other, we basically had 31 tracts, if you will, that we were able to go ahead and put up for sale. So, part of that tax, part of the settlement then was once these properties sell, the county will retain or will be able to capture the tax debt that was owed on those properties. And then whatever those proceeds were, 75% of those proceeds were to be reimbursed to the state of Minnesota. 25% were able to be retained by the county. And that's if they were sold by June 30th of 2027. The time period for selling these properties actually ends June 30th of 2029. However, with the timeline, there's certainly an advantage to the county to sell these prior to June 30th of 2027, because then the proportion or the percentage that goes back to the state jumps up to 85%, and the amount that the county retains goes down to 15%. So one other kind of interesting note on there, the proceeds that the county captures do not have to be apportioned. They are not considered money that was generated off of tax forfeited lands. However, whatever the tax liability that was owed, once we capture that, that does go into the forfeited tax sales account and will get apportioned.
DJ, when you, just for purposes of clarification, when you say it does not need to be apportioned, we don't have to split that between the schools, township?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So we went ahead right away. I think we were, as far as the other land departments that have, or other counties that have land departments, we were one of the first ones to hold a look-back auction or a fire sale auction, whatever. There's been different terms for it, but it's basically for those properties that we're required to make a good faith effort to sell. So starting bid on those by law had to be estimated market value. So we had our first auction in May of 2025. We had 22 tracks that were ready to go for that. We had 10 of them that sold on auction. We made them available over the counter for 30 days after the auction, and we actually had 4 of them that sold over the counter after that auction. Part of the legislation also allowed special legislation sales. So we had 2 parcels that had encroachments on them, and we were able to get special legislation to allow for the sale of those parcels. So our second auction then, what we were able to do then is to do a reappraisal of the properties, kind of take a look at them, figure out why they didn't sell. Obviously, in most cases, they were significantly overpriced. So we were able to drop the price of them, and we put 10 of them back up on sale September 5th. Unfortunately, at that auction, only 1 of them sold. And that was kind of disappointing, but we have a third auction. So this Friday, actually at 1 o'clock, we'll have 10 tracks on this sale. And once again, those properties have been reappraised, reassessed with a reduced price. I'm hopeful that we have them priced to the point now where most of them will move, or they should be sellable anyways. I have talked to a number of individuals that are looking at certain parcels, and they're telling me, yeah, I'd really like to have that, but it's too much money now. If it could get me, maybe down to this price, I would be a buyer. Well, now they're down at that price. So hopefully we get those sold, but.
So, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Westerland?
So DJ, how do we account for all the time and money that we've socked into all of this? Reselling, doing the appraisers are a part of this. There's a few people that.
Yeah.
I mean, do we get that money back? Is that included in the? No.
It's not included in any of the sale prices with these properties. But like I said, it's our 25%. I don't know if you would consider that part of our time and our effort for that.
So why would the state get more then?
The state is getting more to fund the settlement.
Okay.
That class action lawsuit. So moving forward with new forfeitures, we are adding in our time and our expenses into
Good.
that minimum bid, so we are capturing that now.
Good.
But with these particular parcels that forfeited during this time frame, it's not something that we've been able to do, so. So of the parcels that we have sold so far, we've had roughly $13,500 that's been that was tax debt that was owed to the county. It's been returned to the county. We've had just over 47,000 that's gone to the county. That's the 25%. Yeah.
Commissioner Sample?
I just want to go kind of off what Lori said.
Yeah.
The old print shop
Yep.
in Tamarack. We had STS, you had your people out there,
Yep.
and I know they found guns or something in that building, and
Yep.
that's why you guys had to do it.
Yep.
But we had a lot of cost in the dumpsters
Yeah.
and then the labor out of your department.
Yep. We did. We also reclaimed over $10,000 in auction items that we pulled out of that property. And then we'll have a 25% that we'll keep once it sells. But yeah, kind of just the nature of the beast on some of those properties.
Yeah, because Lori kind of scratched the surface there, because
Yeah.
I drive through Tamarack and see your people, the SDS crew, the dumpsters.
Yep. We had 2 dumpsters there, 3 dumpsters, 1 for metal. and STS was there at least once, if not twice. We were there for 3 days.
Did that property sell?
It's going up on Friday. Yep.
We had a little bit of say in all of this. I mean, people work together on this whole solution,
Right.
but it's basically a mandate that the state's making money on again.
Yep. So, and
Gotta love the government.
it'll be interesting to see too. I've been told, I haven't seen any data, but I've been told that the money requested from people that had their property go forfeit was not nearly close to the 109 million that they figured they would need to pay it. So I don't know if that's gonna do anything or not, but so roughly at this point in time, we have a reimbursement that's going to the state to the tune of 142,000. That reimbursement is going through the system now. But we did complete our annual reporting to MMB, and they know that is a check that they will be getting for their 75% of the sale proceeds.
So once they get their 109 million, they set aside,
Good question.
then
No.
does our portion go up?
Well, maybe they're gonna fix some fraud.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Dave?
So there were a lot of unknowns, right? Because we all lived through the Tyler decision. And so the outcome, the settlement that was agreed to seemed like a rational approach with the counties putting in some money, the state putting in some money. At the end of the claim period, right, there'll be an accounting and there may be money left in that account. And it certainly is a legitimate legislative issue for counties to say if there is excess funds in that account, then the contributions that 75% or 85% contributions that the counties made, maybe those should be refunded to the counties. And so I think
That
there's-
was my question.
Yeah.
Are we gonna relook at that and say, well, we got our 109 million, or is it just gonna be put somewhere else in the state, you know?
Yeah.
We're gonna open another daycare?
That would be a massive AMC push if it comes to that, to get that legislation fixed.
Yeah, yeah, and there's, obviously with any new legislature, or legislation, there's gonna be things to iron out. The stance that the Association of County Land Commissioners has taken is we don't wanna, start tweaking things too much. But there are some things right now that we are gonna be pushing for, and one of them is, the mineral payments and how landowners who have property that goes forfeit, get reimbursed for those mineral payments, so, we'll see what else we have on the.
Are you guys tracking how much all of the counties have put into the state?
I'm not real sure. We have a land commissioner meeting here next week. It would be curious to find out how much other counties have raised. I don't wanna say how much money they've raised, it makes it sound like a fundraiser,
No,
but,
I get it, but my question is.
yeah, how many,
Are they all, and pretty soon, we've reached that 109 million.
Right,
Between
yep.
all the counties, and then we go, well, hey, state, we need to relook at this and maybe change these percentages.
yeah, so,
And Mr. Chair, so the 109 million was what the state
yeah,
allocated to this settlement fund. And then to that 109 million are the payments from the counties. So that there's more than 109 million dollars.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
available to pay settlements.
yep, good clarification. So last slide I had here, so after our January auction, I am going to argue that Aitkin County has made its good faith effort to sell these parcels. They've been up on auction for three different times. They've been available over the counter. So by statute, if you've made your good faith effort, they now become our parcels, and we're able to do what we want with them if we want to go ahead and sell them or whatever. So, we do have a couple remaining tracts of interest. We have one property that consists entirely of road right of way. So that is one that we are not gonna try to put up for sale. We have another one that's involved in a survey correction right now. that might end up getting conveyed to a landowner. It is a very small parcel, but the landowner is required to fix a survey issue. And then we have 3 that are being looked at for a possible trade or purchase with DNR. One of them's in a wildlife management area. The other 2 are completely landlocked within state land, no access to them, and they're in the Concon area. So I've been working with DNR to see what we can do with those parcels. So we'll see where we go from there. And then that is all that I had for the land sale summary. If there were any
Questions?
other questions.
DJ, this auction is Friday.
Yep, on the 9th.
Are those accessible by remote
As far as,
bidding?
no, it's in-person auction.
Okay.
Yep. So, and it's actually, the auction has a combination of these look-back parcels as well as properties that just went forfeit here in August. So it's a combination of the 2. There's, I think, 18 parcels total that are on there,
Okay.
so.
Is there an estimated, not that you have to give a figure, but value that you expect?
It's hard to say. The remaining properties that are up on the look back, if those all sold, there's probably about $75,000 worth
Okay.
of parcels on that one. With the new forfeiture ones, I don't expect many of those to sell because in 30 days, the price gets reduced to a minimum bid. So what was originally listed on Friday at $100,000, come February 13th, it's gonna get dropped down to $3,000 for a minimum bid. So hard to say with that.
And I know you've been really good about this in the past. Could you give the commissioners a little email update after
Yeah,
the auction
absolutely.
on Friday?
Yep.
That'd be great. Commissioners, any land department related business or questions?
Regarding ATVs, I know we weren't meeting, there wasn't a lot of development. Have we figured out anything regarding what we're able to do in-house that we can be reimbursed for through the grant funds?
Yeah, we just got, just in communication with the grants coordinator, Aaron Foley with DNR, and we just got word back, I just got an email back this morning that, they had a couple more questions, but it does look like we will be able to do some in-house work and to piece that out a little bit, so, yep, but yep, just this morning, hot off the press, so,
Cool, thank you.
yep.
Thank you, DJ.
Yep, thank you.
Good luck. With that, Dave, would you have a problem if we fast forwarded? Okay, thanks. I think since we're so close to 10 o'clock, in which we have a public hearing, Andrew, if you're ready, just come on up. You've got a couple items here, a public hearing, and the first reading.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, and Happy New Year.
And also with you.
All right, first item on the agenda is a public hearing. On November 17th, the Aitkin County Planning Commission approved the proposed amendments to Aitkin County Shoreline Management Ordinance. A public notice was published in the Aitkin Age on December 24th of this public hearing today. In accordance with Minnesota Statutes 394 and Rule 11 of the board's meeting procedures and rules of business, 2 readings shall be conducted prior to the adoption of this amendment. And I'm just like to go over the timeline, if I may, real quick here. So quite a robust set of engagements and meetings with the public. I want to recognize the Environmental Services staff, the Ordinance Committee, of whom 2 of the commissioners serve on, as well as the lake associations have been outstanding. The engagement has been great. So this is my memorandum, real quick, in accordance with the 2025 Aitkin County Strategic Plan. And in an effort to streamline, improve clarity, and update the current shoreline management ordinance, Aitkin County Environmental Services staff have worked collaboratively with the Ordinance Committee and with the Minnesota DNR area hydrologist. And we have conditional approval at this time with the DNR to propose modest amendments to the current 2018 ordinance. The Aitkin County Shoreline Management Ordinance is our most comprehensive and regulated land use ordinance. A summary of the proposed changes are as follows. Section 2.7, administrative additions to and revisions of definitions. Section 4.25, administrative updates of the classification lists for land uses. Section 7.22, administrative updated language on vegetation alterations. So for more understanding, and we have a new drawing in Appendix 5, which makes it helpful for the reader. And finally, Section 9.82, open space, common open space administrative change. Those are two new definitions that we have in there to for the public to understand better. The following is the past and present tentative timeline for the proposed shoreline ordinance amendments. November 2024 to May of 2025, the ordinance committee reviewed, discussed, revised, made recommendations to revise Aitkin County Shoreline Management Ordinance. June 18th through July 18th, we had a 30-day press release for public written comments. We received several. This was above and beyond what statute requires. This was, we wanted to be transparent.
And this pertains to the public hearing comments?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. And then July 31st of 2025, the county board, we had a committee of the whole public meeting and discussion of the proposed amendments. We received public comments at that time. And then September 22nd, the Aitkin County Planning Commission held a public workshop and received public comments again on the proposed amendments. November 17th, Aitkin County Planning Commission, the public hearing on the proposed amendments was approved. And here we are today. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, we'll officially open the public hearing regarding amendments to the shoreline ordinance. And for those who wish to make a public comment, please approach the podium, state your name and where you live.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
Other commissioners,
Morning.
staff, I appreciate the opportunity this morning, very much. My name is Bob Carls. I am on Cedar Lake. I'm the president of the Cedar Lake Conservancy. I sit on the Aitkin County Lakes and Rivers Association Board. I'm also on the board of the Northern Waters Land Trust. I have appeared at the Planning Commission meetings to comment on this publicly. I have looked at these regulations extensively. A lot of them, as you know, are updates that are necessary to update the code in definitions and other things, and there's no issue with those. The piece that I have a severe objection to is the change in the shoreline clearing portion of it in 7.22. It allows clear cutting, let's call it what it is, it's clear cutting of 40 feet of shoreline, 25 feet deep along our shorelines. That is what it does. It explicitly allows that. And we have been working for years to protect shorelines, to protect water quality in our lakes. This isn't about the property rights of the owner. I have a great respect for the property rights of all owners of property in Aitkin County, but the lake that this change is adjacent to is a commons. We all share that resource. And the erosion, the clear cutting, the removal of that vegetation, of those trees and shrubs that hold that shoreline intact and in place is something we have been working with the county, the Soil Water Conservation District to maintain. And our comments have been ignored. I've gone through all of the public comments received by the county on this. There isn't one in favor of this. There are multiple ones that are opposing this change. You have no support from the citizens or the lakeshore owners for this change in the public comments. I've testified, others have testified previously, that we don't want this. We didn't ask for this change. Why? Why are we regressing back to a more permissive removal of vegetation along our lake shores when we've been working for decades in restoration of lake shores, to restore the lake shore, to protect erosion? You're going to remove the root structure from all of those trees and shrubs along the lake shore. There is no point in that. It's regressive. It's going the wrong way. It makes no sense. Secondly, I've asked multiple times, why are we making this change? Who has asked for it? No one on on Cedar Lake, and I am the president of the board, has asked for this. We don't want it. We don't understand. No one that we know has asked for this. There isn't one public comment supporting it. Aitkin County Lakes Rivers Association, I'm sure you'll hear from Pat in just a little bit. We're befuddled. When this came up this summer and it was first published, no one asked us. We meet monthly. We're available. Many of you have sat with us and met with us at our meetings. We appreciate your support. We really do. But no one asked, and we represent all of the larger lakes in the county. We're mystified. Where did this come from? Who asked for this change to allow clear cutting of 40 feet of shoreline, 25 feet back? It says maintain a vegetative base in that area. Is the county going to police that? How many volleyball courts are going to be built along the lake shore? It's an enforcement nightmare going forward. Right now, the requirements are that what you're allowed to do is to remove a third of the trees larger than a certain height at chest height, and some of the brush and some of the other things. You're familiar with the existing ordinance. It's redlined out in the document you've got in front of you. That's been in place for a long time. It serves to maintain the root structure there. Why we would regress and go backwards is beyond us. And again, I'll implore you to tell us who has asked for this.
I just have a peripheral question to Mr. Carlstrom.
Yes, sir.
Today is a public hearing. When will a decision be put before the board?
January 27th,
Okay.
the next regular meeting.
So this is kind of, we've come to you, written comments multiple times. You can look at all the online comments. Terry Neff opposed this change. Becky Svoboda opposed this change. Lone Lake Association opposed this change. There is no support for it. Why make it? Why step backwards in our efforts to protect the environment? And can you tell me who's asked for this change?
Mr. Chair, if I can ask a
Commissioner
clarifying
Leviska?
question
Yes.
to Andrew. So I've been under the understanding through this whole process on the ordinance committee and everything else that this change is just clarifying the existing rules.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, the existing rules allow for removal of 1/3 of the trees larger than 5 1/4 inches at chest height, correct?
The existing has language as far as the DBH of the trees. We took that out.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
can remove
but
all the trees.
we have option A and option B that are, it's just reworded. Yeah, it's saying the same thing in essence. I had my wetland specialist, he rewrote it for me. He's the one that boots on the ground that goes and investigates and yeah.
So as I've read the proposed change, am I correct that you can remove all trees and shrubs within, on 40 feet of the shoreline, 25 feet back from the ordinary high water level?
Mr. Chair, can I read what we're
Yes,
proposing?
yes.
Okay, excellent. So why don't I read the existing, 7.22, this is on page 39. I've got some extra copies. Does anyone?
Sure. Thanks.
That part I didn't think we changed. We just clarified the language.
Right, and that's the understanding that I've been on. that we just clarified the existing rules.
Yes, you
And
were
if
there
I'm
in the
wrong,
ordinance
I'll
committee.
apologize for wasting your time.
If I'm wrong, I'll do the same. That was my
No,
understanding.
and it's a good point that you bring that up, because we're trying to clarify and
Yes.
clean it up, and if we're not understanding, it's a good point to understand the intent.
Thank you.
Yes. And just to, before I start reading here, also the who behind it, as I understand, was the 2025 County Strategic Plan. It was you as commissioners, you charged me with optimizing our land use ordinances. And that meant to analyze current land use ordinances to identify where the county's requirement exceed state statute. So that was really that was the who behind it. And so the ordinance committee picked it up. And does that make sense, Bob? The who?
That you wanted it cleaned up, but this specific change is the part that is incongruent with my understanding of that process.
Okay, so we'll read page 39. This is section 7.22. And this is B3 of it. I don't think I need to read A and B. Okay, so this is for a kind of a virgin piece of shoreland. There's been no vegetation removal. We know those are getting less and less. We know that our lakes are. But number 3 says, if the shore impact zone has had no past vegetation removal, as a general rule, then I'm going to read the strike through. This is the 2018 previous language. The plan would allow removal of up to 1/3 of the trees greater than 5 inches in diameter, 4.5 feet above the ground level, DBH, diameter breast height, and 1/3 of the trees, shrubs less than 5 inches DBH in a non-contiguous pattern, as long as screening is maintained and shading of the shoreline is still provided. To allow access to water bodies for individual lot owners, an open area, recreational use area of 40 feet or 33% of the lot width, whichever is less, may be allowed to be cleared of trees and shrubs as long as the above 1/3 tree shrub removal is still in compliance. The clearing shall not extend more than 25 feet landward from the ordinary high water level. A grass cover shall remain to prevent erosion to the water body. As an incentive to move the above described open areas off the shoreline, if the open area begins at least 25 feet back from the ordinary high water level, an open area of 60 feet or 50% of the lot width, whichever is less, and 30 feet in depth, may be allowed to be cleared of trees and shrubs, as long as the above 1/3 tree shrub removal is still in compliance. The area between the OHW level and open areas must be left in its natural condition, including a 10-foot wide access path from the open area to the water body, from the shore impact zone to the required building setback, from the ordinary high water level, adequate trees shall remain to meet the requirement in 2A above. So before I read our proposed changes, if you turn to page 65, that's going to be Appendix 5. We updated a new, very understandable drawing. The staff put that together. That's what we're proposing. These are undeveloped, kind of virgin shoreland, which is, again, it's kind of a rarity. My staff says when they go out and investigate and check what people are doing in the first place. So what we are proposing, you're going to find a lot of the same language, very much so. So again, so it reads, if the shore impact zone has had no past vegetation removal, I'm up by 3 again, as a general rule, okay, Then we added, and it's already been called, a recreational use area may be created. An approved vegetation alteration permit shall be required from Environmental Services, and sufficient vegetative cover must remain at all times. So you're gonna start seeing the same language. We just reworded it. Vegetation removal of trees and shrubs within the shore impact zone may be allowed in a non-contiguous pattern, and screening and shading shall be maintained along the shoreline. So then we offered option A and option B. We thought that would be more understandable for the public. 2 vegetation removal options exist. Option A allows the individual lot owner access to water bodies and to be cleared of trees and shrubs to create an open area, recreational use area of 40 feet or 33% of the lot width, whichever is less. This clearing shall not extend more than 25 feet landward from the ordinary high water level. A certificate of survey may be required to determine the ordinary high water level in some instances. A 10-foot wide access path shall be allowed, and vegetative cover shall remain to prevent erosion to the water body. Okay, so that's option A. So we just reworded what was in the previous 2018, all the strike-through language if you have a copy in front of you, and we made it hopefully easier for the public to understand. Okay, option B proposed is as an incentive to move the open area away from the shoreline, a second option allows a larger open area, 25 feet landward from the OHW. The second option will permit the clearing of trees and shrubs to create an open area 30 feet in depth and 60 feet or 50% of the lot width, whichever is less. And you see, we've already said that in the strike-through language. It's already been in the ordinance. The area between the ordinary high water level and open area must be left in its natural condition, in excluding a 10-foot wide access path from the open area to the water body. From the shore impact zone to the required building setback from ordinary high water level, adequate trees and shrubs shall remain to meet the requirements of B1 above. And that says the screening of structures, vehicles, or other facilities as viewed from the water, assuming summer leaf-on conditions, shall not be substantially reduced. And the DNR is passionate about that, about obscuration from when you're on the lake looking at properties. So their big concern is near shore impacts and obscuring properties from the lakeside. So again, there's a lot of words in there, but if you go to Appendix 5 on page 65, we've improved the drawing. The drawing, now it's in color, it's got more essence to it. And so if that answers your question, Bob, that it's really just a rephrasing of what was in there to make it hopefully easier for people to understand and for our staff to explain to the customers out in the field.
Mr. Carls?
What's missing? Your revision.
What's missing
Yeah.
is the only thing that I asked Henry to take out was the DBH, the trees.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't gonna, we just thought that was a little bit of overreach, but it's ultimately up to you. What, you know, counting trees, I mean, if you want us to do that, we can do that.
And we've been doing it for how many years, since before Terry, or a long time, decades.
And you could ask Becky if she counted trees with the customer, absolutely.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah, count it
Yeah.
one by one.
Dave?
Mr. Chair, a question of Andrew. So the area of counting trees in the existing ordinance, where does that apply in relationship to the drawing on the new drawing of the open area? Where in are they the same areas, or the counting of trees is done on the whole lot? a portion of the lot?
Well, it says that you'll maintain a reasonable, let's see, let's find the, so rather than counting, let's see, adequate trees and shrubs shall remain to meet the requirements of B1
I'm
above.
sorry, maybe I could re-ask the question to be clear.
Yes,
So right now, you can have an area that you clear under the current ordinance.
yes, if it looks like this, nothing's changed here.
Yep, so if it's undisturbed or whatever the language is, but it's not been changed, you can have an area that you clear under the current ordinance.
Yes, sir,
And under the proposal, you could have that same area cleared.
same thing.
Under the current ordinance, you're limited by some formula as to how many trees of what size you can remove. Under the current ordinance, the count of
Yes,
trees.
yes.
Under the proposed ordinance, that language is not there. So does that mean the homeowner has more opportunity to remove trees or less opportunity to remove trees?
I think I believe it's a wash, because regardless, our staff will be out there looking at is there adequate obscuration? They'll be looking at and saying, you can remove these, but they're not gonna flag trees with
So
them.
rather than having a mathematical sort of, we're counting, it's intuitive observational conclusion.
Yes, sir, yes.
By the landowner?
By the staff, Aiken County staff, as well as the landowner. It's a collaboration, it's working together.
Give and take.
So does that become where, I'm back on page 39, an approved vegetation alteration permit shall be required for environmental services, from environmental services, and sufficient vegetative cover must remain at all times. So even though you're taking out the cutting of trees, when they get this permit, it's gonna tell them what they can and can't take out. Am I understanding that right?
Yes, it'll be clear. The staff will be working with the landowner. And again, this is really, I wish Henry's not here, Kevin, I don't know how many of these we get a year, but it's minimal. Because most of the good shoreline we know is taken. There's not a lot of development going on.
Respectfully disagree.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah,
'Cause,
Cedar Lake, we're working very hard to maintain as much shoreline. There's areas that look like Edina. I agree with you on
Yes,
that.
yep.
There are large tracts that are heavily forested, and people have been very respectful of development along the shoreline, and we're working hard to encourage that.
Would that be on the south end of the lake?
West side, south end, west side, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I know Cedar Lake. I grew up here,
Yep,
so.
yep.
Yep,
I mean,
so the
Gold-
north end's really swampy, and
Yeah,
yep.
Gold Coast, we all know where that is. That
Yep,
looks
the
kind of
Gold
like
Coast.
Edina. And,
More and more every day.
yeah, and we're trying to get, and we've had some folks reestablish shoreline buffers in that area as well, and it's very helpful. I think that removing the language on the 1/3 tree and shrub removal is more confusing, because what you're saying is there is no change, it's clarification, but by removal of that, to the very good question by Administrator Minke, it certainly has created confusion for me. We want to maintain as much tree and shrub cover to prevent erosion as possible, and removal of that language, to me, makes it more confusing. It seems like it's more permissive that clear cutting and removal of materials can be done.
Yeah. And again, that's up to you, commissioners,
So can I just ask you, the state, what is the state's language? Is it close? Is it not anything near this?
No, it's not anything near,
Because
the
that's-
state is written vague, it's 1989.
And we talked about just
Yes.
going back to the state. Well, I've heard that
Yeah.
a lot. Are we just
Yeah.
gonna go back to the state rules instead of having to have all this policing and all these people getting fines and having
Yeah.
to get permits? That's always not our concern, because they worked hard on this in 2008. to start some of this stuff. Do you know
Yeah,
Dale
well,
Lewitt?
yeah, we've had 3 decades
Yeah.
of, we had
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
Hughes and Terry Neff. I mean,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
brilliant. They put into this, and
Yeah.
Becky was great. And I mean, so we're inheriting a good product. We're just getting it up to date. And we just thought, you know, a 5-inch DBH, we didn't need to have that detail in there.
Right.
But ultimately, it's up to you. We can put it back
Well,
in
no,
there.
I mean, I'm just saying that we are already over and above the state because we
Yes,
care.
oh,
We want to do
absolutely.
the right thing.
Absolutely.
But at some point, you can tell people what to do and make them get a permit or maybe they won't even get a permit. I mean,
Right. Dave?
what are
Thank
you gonna do?
Andrew, so if I have a lot that's covered by this provision, can I do any vegetation removal without a permit from your office?
No, sir.
Can the ordinance say that? Because I
Veg
think-
alt, I mean, you just read above that on 39.
Yeah, you need to get
Let's say an approved vegetation alteration permit shall be required. for
Yes.
environmental
And
services.
however, if somebody buys a new piece of property, they don't have this and they're
But I-
not gonna look for it.
If you're willing to entertain a little wordsmithing to make that easy to pop out, because I think.
Sure.
Is Bob? I think is not easily reading that
Yes.
in the text of the ordinance. Is that,
That's one issue.
well,
Yeah,
okay.
and the very specific comments on the removing 1/3 is very valuable. I encourage you to read both Terry and Becky's comments to you. on
Yes,
this
I
matter.
have them right here.
They both said, don't change this. This specific part of it, they want to see that stay in there because they worked hard to get it for good reason. They would like it to stay. And we, speaking on behalf of Cedar Lake Conservancy, would like it to stay as well. You know, again, I don't mean to be obstructionist or a pain, probably seems
This
that
is
way.
what a public hearing is all about, to get your
Understood. And,
input.
you know, we're working very hard to maintain the integrity of our lakes and the water quality. And we don't want to be seen to be moving backward and seeming more permissive. You know, and Commissioner Westerland correctly stated, we had one owner on our lake who came in, and the first weekend that they were there, they fired up their Husqvarna and they clear cut everything right down to the water.
Yep.
And so the county came out and made them replant. They put in trees about as big as my thumb. It was dry that year. They all died, but they did what they were required to do. And, you know, the lake is forever damaged as a result. So we have to be really clear with people. I'm all for people using and enjoying their property in the lake, but let's protect it.
And if I may just interject a statement that time and discussion spent here today is going to mitigate a lot of confusion when it comes to the adoption. And that's why I'm letting this
Thank you.
go on. Bob, did this give you more further clarification?
Not me.
A little bit.
Bottom line,
Yeah.
again, no guarantees. That'll be up to the full board when this comes. But what would you like to see?
I would like to see the clarity of no more than 1/3 of the trees, the language that we've had in the ordinance, as Terry and Becky have both encouraged, remain in there, the language that's been stricken regarding what is permitted to be removed and what isn't.
And I think what you just said summarizes the whole purpose of your input and your concern, correct?
With respect to this specific ordinance change, yes.
Yes.
And on a broader context, getting input from Aclara, from the lake shore owners on changes like this that affect the lake and the water quality we're trying to protect, be inclusive in the process. This one kind of came at us and nobody has understood it, and we've gone to public meetings and offered comment, met with you guys on occasions to try and get through this, and the language is substantially the same as it was going through the planning process. So, you know, work with us. We're concerned, we're passionate. You can hear the passion in my voice. And we want to be cooperative and work together to make the county as good as it can be and to protect our natural resources.
Commissioners, Dave, or Andrew, any other questions of Mr. Carl's?
No, sir?
I had a clarification question for Andrew. Just thinking about this as a whole and potential, again, Mr. Carls and and Mr. Murphy, our intent was not to make a significant change. We were clarifying, and that was our intent, was clarifying current language. So Andrew, would, just for the sake of asking, putting just that language back in there be considered a minimal change, would not have to go back through a public hearing process from the beginning?
No, I think we should put it on a public hearing again. I really do. That would be my
if that were the
recommendation,
case.
just for transparency. I think we really, but Mr. Minky, maybe he has.
Yeah, I don't know. So in my mind, that issue has been at play for a long time, right? It's not like someone's interjecting something new. It's been in play for a long time, so I don't know that you'd have to hold another public hearing. The question would be, would you get different input? If you think you get different input, then you'd want to include a public hearing.
Yeah. Well, I think also for the sake of trust, I think we should put it out in the newspaper. So so Bob, you could read it and make sure you're happy with, happy with it, or your group is happy with it, that everybody's happy with it. I really think that would be the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I think it's up to these folks to
Yes.
determine what the right thing to do. I just want to be clear. I don't think that you'd be required to hold a public hearing. I presume your goal is to get the most public comments or the most useful public comments and make sure people have an opportunity to weigh in. And so you can.
To wit, the purpose of this meeting today.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
So I just have so what we would change, we would put this language back in and take this old language out. Is that just kind of a reversal thing? And then maybe clarify that you have to get a permit for this stuff? I mean, I'm not sure where.
Yeah, so if, Mr. Chair, and I'm.
You didn't have much water in Pine
This is why
County.
I'm an administrator and not a zoning person, right? Because it's really, words matter. But I think Andrew did exactly what Andrew said he did. He simplified it without reducing the requirements, right?
Right.
I don't know that a layperson reading it
Is gonna know.
automatically draws that conclusion. But separating out the option A and the option B seems like it adds a lot of clarity. And so that would be my suggestion, is if Andrew can think through if your desire is to include the counting of trees language and continue to allow the two options that are in the existing ordinance, maybe there's a way just to break out those two options that make it easier to understand versus that paragraph that's long and confusing.
Yes, yeah, I agree. And this won't change. This is the same. This is just an updated color drawing.
Yep.
So that's
The
what
math
it's
is
trying
good.
to say in there. And the ordinance committee said, boy, that language is confusing.
Yeah.
And we all went cross-eyed and, reading it. And so that's
Let me
what
ask you
was
this. That's why you get the vegetation alteration permit.
Yes, sir.
And when you give them that permit, is that at the point where you tell them how many trees they can take out, how much they can clear that they can't clear cut? I mean, that's the understanding I had when we were trying to simplify things.
Right.
Was that we weren't gonna let people clear cut
No.
because that's what this permit is gonna tell them what they can and can't take. Or am I wrong in that understanding?
No, staff will be boots on the ground, right? Kevin, anything to add on that?
Snap.
Commissioner Sample said is correct. If the people do it ahead of time, Mr. Carl's already brought up the point
Yep.
that they showed up one weekend and the chainsaw got going. If they come in and they say, I would like to have a recreational area on my property, we will explain to them that this is what you need to do. You need to submit a plan. It's not that we go out and tell them what we do, that ordinance tells that. We go out and review their plan, look at it and say, yes, it fits the ordinance requirements, and approve it, or we say, no, you need to adjust a little bit because you're taking down too many 8-inch trees.
Right.
And not leaving enough of them. Then we would, go back and approve it once they've readjusted their plans.
But,
Thank you.
Yes,
but I guess my comment would be that if they're gonna come and clear cut, and we're gonna say that they're just gonna do whatever they want, no matter what you have in this,
Agreed.
they're not gonna read the damn thing, they're just gonna go do what they wanna do.
I agree with you.
And then we're gonna come out and we're gonna have the same thing, that you gotta replant, you gotta do this, you gotta do that.
Yep. On Cedar Lake, when we find out that a property has changed hands, we send out a new owner's pack to that group, and we tell them what the ordinances are as soon as we know that they bought the land, because we're trying to get ahead of it. We want good neighbors.
Yep.
We don't want, because I gotta tell you, the guy who clear cut it doesn't speak, none of his neighbors speak to him. You know, Jim Nelson, if you knew who he was, he bought Jim Nelson's place, and they're pissed. It really destroyed the community along that segment of Lakeshore. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help him. And it was ignorance on his part, to your point. He did it. And that same thing could happen.
And it wouldn't matter what was written in here.
Except-
He's just gonna go do what he wants. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
But if this says that you have to leave a third of the trees, if that language is still in there, it at least creates that self-doubt on him that he can go out and clear cut everything that he wants to between his cabin and the lake. There's something in there that hopefully maybe it causes them to pause. Or if other associations like ours reach out to people when they buy property and say, hey, welcome. You know, here's some things. We want you to be good neighbors. Just want to make sure you're aware of things. At least we got a chance.
Commissioner LaVisca?
Yeah, well, I think that Kevin's comments kind of clarified our intent
Yeah.
in the ordinance committee, was that we would have our staff out there and making these determinations. Well, you can take this tree, you can't take these because we have to keep this vegetation in there. So
So let's leave it in there.
Again, Bob, what would you like to see?
I would like to
Original
have.
language?
Yeah, the language remain that, as long, the wording, as long as the above one-third tree shrub removal is still in compliance, everywhere that appears, because that helps us to clarify that you can't clear cut things. You have to have some methodology so that even when they go to the county, that they don't have a misimpression on what they can do or can't do when they come in to ask for that permit, because that just creates conflict there. It's just communication of that expectation that you're not gonna clear cut the whole thing. You've gotta leave some vegetation in place.
So Andrew, would it be possible to incorporate that language before it comes for final approval to the board in late January? Was it the 27th?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I can sure do that.
Are the commissioners on board with that?
I would be, I think, like I said, I don't think it would constitute a major change because that is the intent, is our staff would make these determinations anyways.
That's why they gotta have the permit.
Right.
Thus precluding a public hearing.
Right.
So, Lori?
Yeah, I mean, regardless, if they know there's a permit process or not, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And I think that how you separated it out, that is actually easier for me to understand. This big I'm just like, what is all that? And so, but I do wanna make it really clear. I mean, we gotta get the education out there still, after all these years, with, you know, appraisers and people that are selling and buying houses and online and, if you're changing your lake shore, you need a permit. One page like that, you know, just, because people they're not understanding. This is very hard to understand, period. If I bought a lake shore property, well, we have a lake shore property, but I would not read this whole thing. I mean, I would not, I would say, I'm gonna call Aitkin Planning and Zoning and get somebody out here.
I just got a dumb question for something that Lori just said and something that you've said. You said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys notify the neighbors to create that good neighbor thing. And Lori's going, I think it would be great, and tell me if I'm wrong or misunderstanding this, if they knew can we put a welcome packet together?
Well, I think they,
Or-
a
or-
lot
That's
of,
what
lot of
Cedar Lake
Lakeshore,
Conservancy
and I
is.
So,
think a lot of
I'm
the.
saying, copy their thing, and when they come in and register their new deed, if it's a lake shore, just say, by the way, we're giving you this.
There's rules to your new place.
Well, but exactly,
know.
but my whole thing is, well, now it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
It's, now I take this home and I look at it and I'm not saying get down in the weeds, but something like if you have Lake Shore, you can,
You need a permit.
You need a
If you're gonna
permit.
change your lakeshore.
does that make sense?
And we currently have a shoreline summary that we hand out.
But
Quite
if they did it
often.
down at the recorder's office,
Oh,
It's just
good
more.
too. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, to cut to the chase here, the language that I think the board members present here today concurs with what Mr. Carls is proposing. And that can be included in the final draft
Okay.
when it comes to the board on the 27th.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And Dave just made a good point here. We're having the public hearing today. Even though another one isn't scheduled at this time, we can continue public input prior to the calling the question on the 27th.
Yes, during the public comment section of the meeting.
No,
You're-
actual continuance of a public
can.
hearing.
Correct. If you desire, you can continue the public hearing to the January 27th meeting. And then there'll be another opportunity for public comments at that time.
does that take a motion?
No, I think we can
No.
just continue.
Yeah, I think if the chair announces it, the minutes would note it, and then we would just schedule it on the 27th as a continued public hearing.
And that does not, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, that does not preclude the board from making the final decision subsequent to the close of the public hearing.
Correct, because this, you would do the first reading today and the second reading on the 27th after the continued public hearing, if that's your choice.
Okay,
I agree with that.
just trying to streamline things here and
Yeah, we got
be fair to the
other
public.
stuff here.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Further public comment? Hi, Pat. If you could approach the bench. Podium in this case, Pat. Just for the record, your name.
Patrick Murphy. I live in Aitkin on Long Lake. 33029 Nuthatch Avenue. The old Long Lake Road. Thanks. Well, what Bob said, quite a bit. I'll introduce myself, Mr. Menke. I'm president of Aitkin County Lakes and Rivers. Mr. Jeffers.
Clara.
Clara. Mr. LaVisca. We do have a meeting tomorrow night at the Glen Town Hall.
Okay.
If you
What
can
time?
make it. Lori. Hi. Brett. Andrew. Good to see you here. And I know that when I heard about the ordinances being looked at, I thought, great, I think we can finally get some of these things a little bit going, a little bit tightened up, that type of thing, which is what I thought we were doing until I read them. And I saw just the opposite. I appreciate the fact that once we did lay it all out, that you did agree with the group of us that that probably wouldn't help our lakes a lot. And I know too that, Bob's still here, but that I did bring this up before and I brought this out, that the Aitkin County, now this is good, but I wish our ordinances matched it a little bit better. And this is part of what I started at Long Lake. I'm on that board also, Long Lake, our lake, and when we get someone new that moves into our area in our lake, we give them a little packet. This is part of it. We also give them a thing too that shows what our lake associations are all about and where you can send your dues. And I gotta say, our Long Lake,
Donations.
our Long Lake in Glen Township, we've got 95% of our people around that lake belong to our lake association. And you're right, Brett, that we do try to welcome them in. We do try to educate them. They do ask questions. We bring them to the picnic. We bring them, we encourage them to go there and do that. Yeah, I'm always there to answer any questions. One year our speaker didn't show up, I did all question and answers. I thought it was pretty good that at least I got a lot of stuff out of it. And through this whole process, I've learned a lot more about our shoreland also. And the thing too that I would love to see more of this, and I know that when I was hearing this, I know that last time I was up here at the podium, and I know there was quite a discussion about fire pits and about the phosphorus, that type of thing. And I was kind of sad to see it's in here, but it's not in our ordinances. And I think you do have something in there, but
Yes, sir, it is in
But
there.
there's no, there isn't any feet. Now, our little, right here, it says locate the fire pit at least 50 feet away from the lake. I don't think it says that in the ordinance. I think it just says, we
A firing pit
suggest you
is
don't do it.
allowed as long as it does not exceed 3 feet in diameter.
That's all it says, the pit, yeah. It doesn't say how far from the lake. It doesn't say anything like that. It just says, don't put it down by the lake because it could have bad. All right, so that's one of the things too that I brought that up. Here's the other one too that I did say a lot about the access ramps. It's great to have public access for your boats and all that, but in our ordinance, public and private watercraft access ramps, approach roads, and access-related parking areas may be placed within shore impact zones, provided the vegetative screenings and erosion control conditions of this part are met. I don't know why or how that would be, the vegetative screening and erosion control would be met by putting a private watercraft access at the end of your property there. And when it's in here like this, people do it. I could say too that I probably know of 10 just on Long Lake, and they keep going. And when they put these in, they take the Bobcat, and I said this before, in October, and probably on a Monday, and clear it all out, so they've got it all set for next spring. It's in here, but I know too that those things should be shored up a little bit. I thought, great, we can do this. We got some things that we can really look at. So what Bob was saying too is that as president of Aitkin County Lakes and Rivers, we have about 3,500 members that we represent on the 20 lakes that we represent. And that's not even including Mille Lacs. We don't, because they're a different association.
Regulate them.
Right. But we've got Ann Bruciani's there and a couple others come.
Yep.
And I'm on the Watershed Mille Lacs board anyway.
We're on it, but.
Yep. So, I get a lot of input on a lot of things that are going. And I think that, Bob said it right. We have things like this. We'd be happy to sit down and on something like this and look at it. And I know the people that you had. We had Steve Sprigiani. He's very up about everything going. Charlie Christensen. That type of thing. You had some great people on it, too. But we'd be happy to say a few things. And I know Charlie did. He spent a lot of time talking about fire pits. And I agree with him. But I said too that there are some things that I think that we could really work on, on that. And I really appreciate the fact that the ones that we did bring up before that you did agree with and eliminated, because I think we should be moving forward instead of backwards on our lakes. And I could go on and on about how passionate we are about our lakes around here, but I think that you get the point of what I mean. And I work a lot with Bob. He's a good guy from Clara. The other thing too is we were just talking about, I think outside of we get involved with a lot of different things, but we'll be down at the DNR roundtable and we'll be discussing this with all the DNR roundtable people. You go there at all?
Oh, sir, no, I've heard a lot about it. You're going in January?
It's Friday.
Friday, yes. Yep.
Hopefully the roads are okay.
There'll be some representatives from the McPisa. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it in Bloomington again?
No, it's in the north side, like Brooklyn
Oh,
Park.
okay.
So, yeah.
It used to be, yeah.
Yeah, I know I've had Minnesota Trucking there before too.
I didn't get
meetings.
invited this year, so.
Oh, you didn't make the cut.
No, I usually, Yeah, they usually invite you
Well,
from the
you know, like,
fisheries.
and we're both on Minnesota Lakes and Rivers Advisory Board too, so we do get involved with a lot of things, so we do get input from many different sources, you know, throughout the state of Minnesota. And I think that, you know, we've got some pretty good people that could look at this. And I also agree, Brett, you know, I like doing that welcome wagon, anything you can have that's easy. This is easy to read. You know, this is the thing I like, and we looked at that before, that, and I give these out. They just had some reprinted. I've always got, I bring them to every meeting in case anybody needs them to pass out or let me know. Janet Kolstead from Clear Lake last fall said I need 128 of them. Well, she passed out 128 to everybody on their lake.
There's still a lot
I
at
don't
Soil
know,
Water.
does Soil and Water have?
Oh,
they-
Yeah, Soil
absolutely.
Water still has a lot.
They have a lot of them on Mille Lacs and stuff, so I know
We
if
just
we
got-
just work together, we can just package something together.
Yep, and education means everything.
It
It's like
does. People don't know.
They don't. They move up here from the cities, and I know that there's a person across the lake thought he was doing everything right and did everything wrong.
Yep.
I mean, even the you know, the fact that our neighbors, I try to educate them on the septic deal, you know, and all that. That you might want to just keep that covered, and you're not up here, and you live in Lakeville, and.
Well, they think it's like the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Just let everything go and
And
just.
our, you know, our
look up.
next biggest thing really is the watercraft. Wake boats, jet skis are unbelievable. You know, how they're churning up the water, and that's a whole different ballgame that, you know, we'll be talking about at the DNR, actually.
Sounds like a separate ordinance.
Sheriff.
Yes.
Safety.
Sheriff.
And the other
public
thing
safety.
too is that we'd love to be more inclusive in the no wake when we have floods. You know, that was just a killer again this year, you know, on Long Lake when we couldn't have the no wake. I mean, we had our lake, gosh, it was like 3 feet over on our banks, and it just destroyed the lake shore. And what it's doing, it undercuts the trees fall in, you know, and erodes the lake shore. So that, I do believe that on Long Lake, we should have had
Yeah, it's wet
a
over
no
there.
wake on there.
Why wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it didn't want to have it, I guess, is what it was. And I understand the thing too, that we're saying that when our local businesses like Lakeview, Denny does not want it because it hurts the business coming up at 4th of July, that type of thing. So I get that, I understand it, so it has to be, you know, done right, you know, that type of thing, you know. And the thing too is that just putting up signs, you know, around the different lake shores really didn't work, you know. Even when I went out and talked to some people on their jet skis, they just, okay. And as soon as I pulled the pontoon away, off they went. So I know that, that's where I go with, the Water Patrol could use another boat, you know, not just one that they've got. They got another one now?
We just bought one to replace the old one.
Oh, well.
That was last year.
I thought they,
We don't have the staff.
well, we talked about that $20,000 AIS, that where does it go? You know, that would be a good one that goes to the sheriff. I don't know what they're using it for, but we could use some more help on the Water Patrol anyway. That's another thing. I won't take your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the input, Pat.
Anybody have any questions for me?
Oh, just hang in there.
Thanks,
Pick
Lori.
up the phone.
All right, thanks, Brad.
I mean, with Pat, I mean, going into this, and you've heard me say multiple times, I think that a strength is knowing what you don't know. And going into this, I'm always the person that is on the side of the landowner to get to do what they want with their land, in general. So then going into this process, bringing in all this information, gathering information, learning what to the water, knowing why the rules are in place is an important thing, and we went over a lot of that. And I think one of the best things I heard was what you actually told me, where you moved up here from the metro thinking, it's my land, I'll do whatever I want with it. But then you also learned and understood how this works. So, yeah.
You gotta pack it.
Right. You got that firsthand experience of, I'm gonna do what I wanna do, and then.
Absolutely.
That means-
Yeah, and I know that when I've talked to you before, that you said that, you know, the people coming up here from the cities, this is what they want. That's not what I wanted, because I wanted that nice clear lake that we didn't have in the cities. And and I've got the thing too, that I still carry around that, picture of, we're advertising that, and that's what I didn't want with, what we're looking at with our A-B cut, that we were talking about, to all of a sudden have this right down to the shore, where the water just,
Ocean.
yeah. So, and you know whose kid this is? John Welly's. I know.
Who's kid?
John Welly's.
Oh,
Calvin
Calvin.
Welly.
okay.
I didn't know at first when I brought this up here until I found out that I'm on the Glen Township Board,
Now you just told him to
and
call.
yeah, he does all of our cutting for us. All right.
Appreciate your input, that's the.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Pat.
Pat.
We'll call online for anybody online. Okay.
Yeah,
With that, with the permission of the county board, can we continue this public hearing until
Yep.
a prelude to the final adoption?
Yes.
Okay, we have consensus on that. So on January 27th, when we get to this subject
a
matter,
lot of time.
environmental services, continuation of the public hearing, the next item will be consideration of adoption. Dave, is that
Yep, very good.
okay,
I mean, I
commissioners?
think, I'm presuming that'll be the second reading and then adoption.
Yeah, an option, yes, hopefully.
What's that?
Yep,
Second reading and then action.
correct. That the
Action.
sequence will be, the public hearing will continue, the public hearing will close, the second reading will be announced, and then the opportunity to adopt the ordinance.
That would be the correct chronology.
That's what I heard.
Good, okay. Okay,
Two.
at this point, we'll suspend public comment until our next meeting, or public hearing.
Yeah.
That be on the 27th, excuse me, is that?
27th.
Yep.
And Bob, Pat, thanks for your participation input.
Appreciate it. Really appreciate the opportunity to participate.
You bet, thank you. Okay, Andrew, on to discussion only the first reading.
Yes, the first reading. So with your permission, Mr. Chair, I'll just kind of go over summary unless you want me to read
I think a summary would suffice.
Yeah. the
at
summaries.
1 hour. Okay. So the memorandum, again, it shows the different sections that we're proposing, proposing the amendments. So section 2.7, again, we're looking at syncing the definitions with the classification list. So section 2.7 is all the definitions. We've added about 30 definitions. And in line with, with cannabis, with the state definitions. And so we've synced those. And then section 4.25, we've updated the classifications to include data centers, solar, all these things that are gonna be up and coming in the future. So, and then section 7.22 is what we talked about, and so I'll be proposing those amendments to that language to include 1/3 rather than 33%. That's kind of the same thing, but the 1/3, and I'll put the diameter breast height. I'll put all that in there. Just if you're okay with that, I'll
Yep.
make those changes. And then section 9.82, we added to our definitions open space and common open space, two different things. And so there was just some refinement in the languages in 9.82. So pending your questions, if that suffices for a first reading, kind of summarizing.
All on board?
Yep, that works.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Adam.
Yep.
Anything else, Andrew?
No, sir. No, thank you for your time this morning.
You bet, thank you. How about a 5-10 minute break?
Sure. I have a question for you, Andrew.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't we do like a conditional use permit where where you're outlined, you have so many conditions that you have to, instead of having to go through all this. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's like all these statutes and, oh, go to this page or go to that page or.
We're on
look,
break.
Here's what you get.
Good timing.
Here's what you get. You have to do all these conditions, and here's your conditions. You can't cut trees this big, you can't do this, you can't do that.
And then to enforce that.
And then they'll be going, well, what can we do? Well, I don't know, you could probably sell your house
Well, again, the intent didn't change.
and move to Crowing.
No, that, we could go to a
I know, but it's
conditional use
just,
permit kind of
it's
thing.
just so much for people. I
It
mean,
is, it really is, that big
And
long
the
paragraph.
contractors, yeah, we have some
Yes.
naughty contractors.
So you know that we offer contractor workshop,
I know,
workshop,
I know,
realtor workshops,
But
and
we
they're
have-
very low attendance, so we'll keep working.
we have bad contractors that, they know the
We've got
rules.
good ones though, too.
Yeah, we have a few. Yes, we know all about that. How's that thing on Mille Lacs going for, what's his name?
That's
Dave?
going very well. That went
Okay.
through a variance.
Not excited. Sucks to not drive.
Yeah.
In 6 weeks, I haven't driven.
Okay, we're live in the air, but that, we'll resume, call the meeting back to order. And we'll continue with item 6. I'll turn it over to the county administrator.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the next item is consideration of the 2026 Board of Commissioners Meeting Procedures and Rules of Business. We've discussed these briefly at the last meeting, and I think the only unresolved issue was that rule number 4, and so we left it that we would include the 2 readings and the alternate, and then you could decide today how you wanted it finalized.
So what's the feeling?
I think that we leave the flexibility like today, where if we needed to have a second public meeting, that we do it, rather than you automatically have to do 2. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Just to be the devil's advocate, does that violate a consistency factor? That, well, on this, we're gonna have 1, but on this, we're gonna have 2. It's a devil's advocate question.
Well, I'm just saying, some things are just pretty plain that you don't need 2 hearings for. But then you're gonna have others, like the feedlot, where you're gonna have more input, that you have the flexibility, the board has the flexibility to decide whether, hey, we're not getting enough info at this time, we want another one.
Or if at the first hearing, there's no input, it's a no-brainer.
That's what I'm saying.
Why waste time with the
Why
second?
waste the time? But if we have one that requires more input,
Then that option is open.
then that option's open
I
to us.
personally like that.
Yeah, I like, so that would kind of be the second option where it just says proposed ordinances may be adopted after 1 reading. That gives the flexibility, may, not will. But, and then, you know, if the question raises, well, who gets to make that determination? Well, 5 members of the elected county board get to make that determination.
Yeah.
Exactly. It simplifies it.
Right.
And does it have to be a 5-0 vote then? No.
No,
No.
Okay.
A majority vote.
simple majority.
Simple majority. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with either way, so.
In terms of the wording, what do you suggest on that? A second reading may be called for at the discretion
I
of the
wouldn't even
board.
put it on there, would you?
Mr. Chair, I would tend to agree with Lori that
Yeah, don't
it's,
even put it on
it's up to you 5, right, or however many of a quorum are here.
Yeah.
That you gauge where you are, what the public input has been, if you want more information, if you want more public opportunity, and then you make a decision.
So just kind of leaving it vague as proposed ordinances may be adopted after 1 reading. And that's vague and gives us the option.
And it's still open.
Yep.
Yeah, it leaves us the flexibility.
Administratively, you're comfortable?
Yes.
I think we have a
You do.
unanimous consensus.
You do.
All right, so if there were agreement on the remainder of the proposed rules of procedure, if you were ready to make a motion.
I'd move to adopt the procedure.
Motion on the floor to set effect by Commissioner LaVisca, support.
I'll second.
Motion supported by Commissioner Western. And further discussion? Call it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Thank you. Meeting schedule.
We have proposed a meeting schedule that basically maintains the historical second and fourth Tuesdays, with the exception of the organizational meeting today, and then in December with the AMC conference. And then we're also proposing the Board of Appeal and Equalization for June 16th at 4 PM, and the Truth and Taxation meeting December 15th at 6 PM, with the regular meeting preceding that on the 15th at 4:30 PM.
Cool.
The 16th, you
Well,
said?
I would ask,
December 15th.
and
Oh,
I'll,
yeah, yeah.
I'll leave it up to the consensus of the 3 that would be here, but Michael and I are tentatively, right now, will be in DC for the February 24th meeting. So we could either move it to the 17th or have the potential of just you three being here. It's up to you guys.
Well, in the past, haven't, you guys did it through Zoom?
You two did that year you were out there, and I didn't know how easy that was
It
with
was
the
terrible.
NACO schedule out there, if it was tough for you to make that work or not.
It was, we just pulled off to the side and did it.
Going out
Yeah.
there?
So, what's that?
When are you going out there?
It's the
February what?
20th to 25th. So we'd be gone for the meeting on the 24th.
Oh,
And like, yeah, Brett said, there's the potential of doing it Zoom if, you know, if we're not in a
And
committee
a
at
lot
that
will
time.
determine if the agenda is a no-brainer,
Right,
Yeah.
then we'll have the meeting.
yeah.
But if
I would say
there's,
just let's have the meeting and then
well, in terms of you guys
Yeah.
patching in,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's good.
All right, yeah.
Play
that's
it by
good.
ear.
Yep.
Okay, and we can also be conscious of that and try not to schedule
lot.
things that, like a shoreline ordinance, for example, on that day.
so if I'm hearing everybody correctly, we'll go with the calendar as proposed.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
A motion on the floor to set effect by Commissioner Sample, support.
Support.
Motion supported by Commissioner Leviska. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion's carried. The 2026 board meeting schedule is officially adopted. Official county newspaper.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, you have information in front of you. We did solicit bids and received some back. The lowest cost per impression was by the Aitkin Age, and so we would recommend that as the official newspaper.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion on the floor by Commissioner Westerland, support.
Or
Commissioner Sample, support. Any discussion?
So just clarifying, we still do use the other publications for important notices, like,
Yeah, we can publish
right,
if we want a broader circulation.
right.
Any further discussion? We'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion's carried. The designation has been made. AMC Policy Committee members.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, there are 5 AMC policy committees. The proposed membership is unchanged from 2025. And then the county has 8 voting delegates. And typically, that's the 5 commissioners and then 3 staff who participate in AMC activities. And so those are proposed as well.
Barring any comments or questions, a motion would be in order.
I'll
I
make
just,
a,
oh, I have a question.
Commissioner Sample move, support.
Support.
Supported Commissioner Westerland. Lori?
Question. So Dave, are you interested on being on any of them, or are you just gonna rotate?
I will
around.
attend committee as helpful and necessary.
Okay, I just,
Yeah, and I was not a voting
No,
member in my
no,
previous
that's-
role, so
Oh,
that worked out
okay.
well. A lot of flexibility,
okay,
no responsibility.
no responsibility. Perfect.
I think we were still in discussion. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Pose same sign, motion's carried. On to 2026 Commissioner Committee appointments.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, my understanding is these are basically unchanged, and that's the desire of the members. And obviously, if you disagree, you can say that. I want to make 2 notes. On the Extension Committee, we have historically shown that as a member and an alternate. The statute says that we have to appoint 2 commissioners.
Okay.
And so I would just make that update, and then whoever is appointed can arm wrestle for who wants to attend when, if that's necessary.
Yeah, you can do that.
And
I'm
then
doing it.
on the joint, what we had been calling the Joint Counties Natural Resources Board, it's actually the Joint Counties Natural Resources Board. And I did get a copy of the Joint Powers Agreement for that. And the Joint Powers calls for the appointment of 1 representative and an alternate. It is not required to be a commissioner, it's required to be a resident of the county.
That's the one in Bemidji,
Yes.
that we're the only county from this side. I mean, Itasca, Cass, they don't belong to it.
And I had made some communication with I think he's the land services director in Beltrami. on who supports this committee. There, it sounds like there's been some turnover. There isn't a solid record. And so if you wanted to continue to participate or not, at their January meeting, it's my understanding that they're gonna set the budget. And typically it's been about $1,000, is that
Yes.
correct? To participate. I don't know if there's any assets that the Joint Powers has, but if you terminate your membership, you don't get any refund.
Well, who's on the,
I am,
Brett?
and Mike was before me, and Mike agrees with me.
well, it says Dennis Thompson on there.
He's the alternate. He was Mike's alternate and mine.
Oh,
So is there any asset that we wouldn't know?
no, I wish they would join with either MRC or, what's the other one, Northern Counties. I mean, I
So
wish we could get that together, but,
would you recommend withdrawing from it? Is that kind
I
of?
would recommend if there's someplace else, I mean, they do have great information they put out, but it all affects the northwestern part of the state.
right.
If we had something with Itasca,
We do have that northern, is it the northern counties that, yeah.
Northern
So we do have
Counties,
that.
MRC, and ACA,
Yeah.
all, or Itasca, are all Arrowhead,
and I would say we would get
But-
more out of that.
like Joint Power, or, what is it, MRC and Northern Counties, Kitson County, Pennington County, those guys are all from the west, south and west and north, so they're all on those two committees, MRC and Northern Counties.
You know, I mean, my thing is, you go there, they have some tremendous speakers that come. But you ask them a question and they're like, well, I don't quite know how you guys, how it works for
Yeah.
you guys. It's all geared towards their farming, their ditching, that stuff, rather than the logging or the stuff that affects Aitkin County.
I mean, I can send, do you have a list of the people that are on MRC and Northern Counties?
I probably do not.
I think I'll have to, I know I have it, I just have to find it.
There's enough people at those MRC meetings that I would say almost every rural county is represented.
Well,
in
that's
there.
just it.
Yeah.
But maybe they, cause I know, I don't think Bill Chammy's maybe was in it. I don't know who's all in them either, but
So I guess if,
I just don't see where we get the bang for our buck, to be honest with you.
yeah, and that, I think the question is, do you want to have that conversation with the board and let them know that we don't feel like we're
I
getting the
will go
bang
to
for
their
the?
meeting at the end of the month, and I will bring that up to them that, in fact, I've had a couple of the commissioners there say, I don't even know why you guys are part of us, because Cass ain't, Itasca ain't.
So there's a gap, there's a whole gap there.
There's a whole gap. There's like 3
I think
counties.
Cass is joining Northern Counties. A lot of people are joining Northern Counties, so,
I would much rather go there if it's gonna affect.
yeah, and I said
Our
Northern
region.
Counties, yeah.
Yeah.
So for the exercise today on the appointments, Commissioner Sample will be the primary and plan to go to the meeting, and then in February, you can have conversation as to whether you want to continue membership or not. My understanding is you should have a membership fee cost by then from them. And then, do you want to appoint an alternate?
Mike's been the alternate.
Okay, so then I'll cross DJ off.
Yeah.
And then do I see right that we don't have TZD anymore?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
What
we do.
happened?
Once it struck out.
There's been a gap in meetings,
Oh,
but we do technically still have a TZD committee.
Okay,
There's a lot of dynamics.
okay, okay. So
But
we-
yes,
So we should add that back, and would we maintain
Yeah.
Commissioner Weedle as the representative?
yeah.
Sorry about that.
no, that's, And I didn't notice, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to talk about Mille Lacs Watershed Management Group. I haven't been to a meeting in 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. Well, it's just I have conflicts with MRC and,
Or are they at the same time usually?
yeah. So, I mean, I used to sit on that religiously because there was 3 commissioners, but the other 2 from Mille Lacs and Crow Wing never showed up.
Okay, well, I can start trying to hit those then.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's kind of
Okay. I'll keep track of those.
okay, well, I mean, I'll keep getting, because it's
I get the
in my
emails too.
area too.
Yeah.
It's in both of our
Right.
areas, so it's good to have that. Okay, that's.
Back to towards zero deaths.
Oh, yeah.
John Welly is also a member of the committee. I think he's on, not as a board appointment, but because he's county engineer. And you have education, emergency, engineering, et cetera, et cetera. But just FYI. So, are we all clear?
No, because we have, Northeast Waste Advisory Committee. I think I went to, a couple years ago, me and Andrew went to a couple of sessions of talk about
That's
the solid waste, and have you been to any?
I went to one.
Yeah. I
The
don't
whole
even know
year
if
I
they're
was
meeting.
on.
I've never gotten an email, so
Yeah,
Who spearheads that?
I have no idea. I think it's
St. Louis County,
St.
I
Louis
think.
County probably, or wherever we
We,
bring our.
we went to Virginia to the meeting.
Do you recollect any other, so St. Louis County was a member?
Yep,
I think St. Louis, Lake, Cook, maybe, all the
and Itasca
Arrowhead.
was because they're closing that
yeah, solid waste.
solid waste.
'Cause I can follow up and
Okay.
see what I can find out as to the meeting schedule.
Yeah, to see
and
who's
stuff.
where and what, and, I mean, if we're supposed to be going, probably we
Well,
should
in the
be going.
meantime, we should make an appointment. We can always undo it.
Okay.
You want me to take that, Lori, or do you?
Yeah,
still
it doesn't
want
matter. I mean, if you wanna take it, you
mean,
go right ahead.
Yeah, but it
Closer.
yeah.
All right,
Switch the primary and alternate there?
Yeah, I can be your alternate or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is when you come and said, hey, I'll take that, I'm like, yeah, cool, because you don't go to any meetings.
Right. Yeah, I haven't. it's
Don't
been
have
a
to
long
make no decisions that way, Dave.
any other?
I think that's it. That's the only
The,
ones.
the other thing I had was, when we first got elected, the new commissioners were gonna rotate between facilities,
Oh, right.
personnel, and budget. I was on budget the first year.
Yep.
Last year I was on facilities. Do we wanna rotate that, or do we wanna leave it where it's at?
Well,
I think everybody agreed to stay where they're at.
Well, I initially in the email, but I didn't think about that. Do you want to switch to a different one? Are you good on?
It's up to you guys, I mean,
Because that would be you were budget the first year, right?
Yeah.
So that would put Michael budget.
Well, if I may interject a point of history, this kind of came up a long time ago before you guys were on the board. Somebody went to an AMC meeting somewhere, and, hey, other counties rotate everything. Therefore,
is that where that came back?
that's where that came from. And it was not unanimous by any means. It takes you a good year to get a grasp of what's going on with some of
or
these
3.
committees.
Yeah, and I think the initial intent was just so all three of us kind of got a taste of it and then
Right.
determined where we would go from there. But
It was
if you're
never
happy-
etched in stone.
If you're happy with facilities, I'm fine with budget and Michael can
fine.
stay on personnel. It's up to you. You would be personnel this year if we did do the switch.
It doesn't matter to me,
Okay, I'm good with it.
but I was just,
As is.
Yeah,
3 years ago, we were
Unless Mike
gonna
has an
rotate,
issue.
yeah.
and
Coulda signed
I'm
it.
fine being on facilities.
And facilities, it's important to have a lot of history. We're going through the HHS thing, we're going through versus a general contractor.
Water building.
We've got a construction management team,
Boat and water.
boat and water. Personnel, the same thing. There's a lot of history. It's nice to know. But facilities, for one example, is, you know, here's what we did wrong with the government center and here's what we did right. And there's something to be said about having a background and some history on these committees.
Stability.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's important for other people to be on personnel, because you get to know what's going on behind the scenes with HR. I mean, and why we make some of the decisions we do. You bring them to the board, or we can discuss them. You can discuss them in private, personal, whatever you wanna call it.
Personnel.
So, personnel. I just feel that that's an important, you know.
And there again, everybody has the option of switching or
Yep,
or
yep.
bidding, so to speak, for, boy, I'd like to be on this.
I just brought that up because that's
Yeah,
when we came on the
Yeah.
board, that's what was
Yeah.
kind of discussed, that they were gonna rotate us three
yeah.
newbies.
Right.
It was never
Movies.
adopted as a,
No. But if you guys wanna change it within each other, that's fine too. Or
and
if
we
you
already
don't
went
wanna
through
be
that
on
process
something,
here, that who
we're
wants
fine.
what, and
Well, I learned a lot. I'll be the first. I learned a lot on budget that first year. And you know, and even now, I'm like going, damn, I remember that. Then the facilities, I've learned a lot, especially with going out and putting our staff in 2 different buildings, 2 different locations,
Yeah,
and then watching this thing grow.
yeah.
so
I'm,
does somebody wanna make a motion?
I'm good. You're good.
Okay.
I'll
I'd
make
make-
a motion
As proposed,
as proposed, thank
including
you.
TZD. Motion on the floor to set effect. Commissioner Westerland, support,
Support.
supported by Commissioner Leviska. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion's carried.
And I'm keeping this.
Have it.
Letter of support.
Oh, Mr. Chair, members of the board, the Aitkin Airport is working on a terminal grant to build a terminal building. Chair Weedle and Engineer Welly serve on that, commission, whichever it is, Airport Commission.
Airport Commission.
Yeah, and are recommending that we submit a letter of support for that grant.
And if I may preface, the deadline is January 15th. We're looking at approximately 1.3 to 1.6 million. If we get this grant, the rest will be fully funded.
How?
Minnesota Aeronautics.
Oh, okay. I
MnDOT.
wasn't sure if there was a.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Oh, it is. The one thing, if you're comfortable, I'm signing a lot of things and getting copies. I'm soliciting things like this. I wonder, just to avoid redundancy, if this letter could be signed by the county administrator,
Absolutely.
because my name is showing up a lot on this whole process. And then CC,
Come knock on your door soon? Is that?
depends who it is,
Hello.
I got.
with a CC of every individual
Sure.
commissioner's name.
County Commissioners.
Yes.
We can do that, and I'll edit it so that it sounds like it's coming from the administrator versus the chair.
Yeah.
Make those minor.
And the one
edits.
thing on the regarding letters of support, Aitkin Airport ATP grant, there wasn't a T on the end of the grant. Well, I know a lot of times you've got to propose and you just go from that, so.
Just wanna get a grand,
Oh, I got
$100
it.
grand.
So
Okay.
with that, I would
make a
entertain a motion. Motion on the floor, set effect, Commissioner Westerland,
Support.
and that motion is supported by Commissioner Sample. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion's carried. Thank you. On to, or staying on administration, Dave, anything?
Nothing further.
Okay. On to committee updates, reports. Lori,
No, I'm still, haven't had anything yet. First of
Travis,
the year.
No, nothing over the Christmas break.
Brett?
Only thing I got to say is yesterday at 11 o'clock, Congressman Stauber had called a meeting with the Corps here at the courthouse. The county had our administrator. I was there. Our county attorney, Mr. Ratz, was there. We had our surveyor, and that was a good catch, Dave. Thank you. Because he understood the elevations and stuff and that talk. And Congressman Stauber made it very clear that he didn't want to wait till 2028 for the Corps to finish their survey. If they even got the money, they got half of it done and they're waiting on the other half. So you got realtors that are being held back on this. We're not sure what we're gonna do. And he made it very clear that he wanted movement on this. And one of the things that I liked that came out of that meeting yesterday was that they talked to the Corps, not the people at the dam. That leadership team have a meeting with the Lake Association and the townships. And we'll have some dates for that in the next week or two.
And Mr. Chair, if I could just complete the attendance, we had County Assessor Mike Dangers there.
Yes,
And it
thank you.
was actually Mike who suggested including Randy, so I just want to be sure that
Oh,
he gets
Randy,
credit
okay.
for that.
Yeah, but
Awesome.
I don't think the court had a plan or has a plan.
They just don't know how good Aiken County is at keeping up with everybody.
Well,
Government is slow. And the Corps is really slow.
Congressman Stauber asked him point blank, how much is it gonna take? I'm getting on a plane for DC, I will lobby. And correct me, Dave, if I'm wrong here, he did make it clear that if it needed congressional action on this, he was all about taking that charge to the Hill. And then he wants another meeting with the same players that were at that meeting yesterday, after the Corps has their meeting with the Lake Association people and the township. Because I brought up the townships because Shamrock Township, our largest township, if they lose 70% of their tax revenue even drops in value, we could bankrupt one of our townships. So he was all about that. That's kind of the gist of the meeting, and Dave, you were there. If I left something out, please add on.
That all sounds good.
That's all I got, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Again, during the holidays, not a lot going on, but since we're here, I've been in contact with Kara Lindstrom.
Yes, she
That's,
was here yesterday.
Yeah, and I didn't want to muddy the waters with support, but I do have emails into her garnering support from Congressman Stauber on our airport terminal building. And he's been a very influential help to us. But I know you've got a close relationship with the congressman. You could put a bug in his ear.
I was at two things with him yesterday.
Yeah. And like I said, I didn't want to muddy the waters from the intent of your meeting yesterday. But Kara is on top of it, but just a little boost to him directly from yourself would not hurt. So far, I've got letters, emails of support from American Pete, City of Aiken, Aiken County, North Air Care, Critical One. I'll try to get a hold of Lifelink. I talked briefly this morning with Jessica from Dallin, and then I'm working on Klobuchar and Senators Klobuchar and Smith. Both offices were very helpful when we applied for the congressional directed spending, which we had it in our hands, 3 million, and it got squashed. Good for America, bad for us, I guess. So, if anybody else has any in townships, letters, emails of support. So, I don't know, I guess that's all I've got to report, and And I want to thank everybody for their, support as board chair and your continued confidence. Enjoy doing it.
And Mark, will it help if I get any of my cities to give you letters of support, the airport letters of support?
It wouldn't hurt. I just don't want to conflict with the McGregor Airport.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But
Nothing, that would be absolutely great.
because even McGregor Airport, the big dog on the block is Aitkin's Airport.
Yeah. And you look at the number of North ambulance patients from McGregor in that area in your district, Big Sandy, that are shipped out from Aitkin at the Aitkin with the air care.
And I'll bring it up at the McGregor Airport at our board meeting.
That'd be great.
Then,
And again, the deadline is the 15th of January.
so I will get on that today.
Super. Anything else? If not, to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Commissioner Western moves adjournment.
Support.
Commissioner LaVisca supports. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. This meeting is officially adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Maybe this year we do something different than Lori and Travis always moving adjournment.
That's okay.
Appreciate you spending.
Oh, Dave, this Bob Carls, you know who he is?
No,
The guy that was here?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think he came maybe last time thinking we were having the hearing.
Well, you traveled from Ramsey to Sandstone. Was it Sandstone
Well, the courthouse is in Pine City.
or Pine City? Okay, billboard signs.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the billboard signs that on the lower left says Carl?
That's a different one.
No. That's him.
He used to be a preacher
I think that
in
too.
Malmo. That's not him.
I was told differently.
No, because he used to be a preacher at the Free Church down in Malmo. And he's got signs. He does the signage all over.
Is it a relative?
Well, his name was Bob Carl. Karl. This guy's Carl's,
Calendar.
right? I thought that's what his name was.
Wait a minute.
I'll find